to the crown spin, where it's all about the flow. We got the hottest podcast, no need to go slow. We're here to entertain, gonna let it all show. Get ready for the lituation, straight from the get-go. We got the panels flowing, got the speakers on fire, talking about the topics that everyone desires. Crown family with the king, that's our empire. Tent is contenting, taking it higher. We bring the heat, we bring the vibe, we bring the energy. The Crown Family Podcast is where it all begins.
When the Eddie Long situation happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember having conversations with him and the guilt that I could see on his face, right? And like I said, keep in mind, this is a very cultish environment. This is the culture of this church is very cultish at the time, where the mental manipulation. If you haven't been in the type of environment that I'm talking about, you're not going to really be able to understand what I'm saying when I say this. But like it was very, very, very cultish. Very cultish, very, very cultish. And so when the Eddie Long scenario happened, I can remember having conversations with him and seeing the look on his face, and it would be like this guilt thing, and we would have conversations about the exchanges that he and I had. And because of how I viewed him and how I viewed him specifically, and then also how I viewed what actually had taken place, because I viewed it as a spiritual thing. Like I remember like encouraging him in a way, like, no, don't, because he was having like feelings like, man, like that seemed like the same thing I did. I remember him actually saying that to me. That's kind of like, that seemed like what I did. And so I remember saying to him, I'm like, no, like it's like our situation was different. It wasn't that. It was a spiritual thing. It wasn't that. And so because I was so influenced by the culture of what the church was at that time, that's why I made that statement. Like I've helped you to believe that you didn't. When the reality is you really did, but you just put it under the umbrella of spirituality. And so that was why I responded that way.
That's crazy. And you sound very intelligent, and very smart. Why do you feel like this happened to you?
This happened to me simply because I was impressionable and I didn't have my dad in my life. That's why it happened. That's why it happened. I was impressionable and I didn't have my dad in my life.
And you said that your dad is in your life now. This actually has brought you and your dad closer, correct? How does your dad feel about Larry Reid and what happened?
And I won't even speak on that, man. Yeah, I ain't even gonna speak on that. But you know, he feels like a father would feel. I say it like that. You dig? Like he feels like a father would feel. So
Absolutely. So Larry goes on to say on July 15th, in response to your statement, that he never really cared that much, that he molested you. So you say that because this is the video. I'm reading from the video. I haven't screenshotted it or nothing yet. It says so for the past 7 years, you assisted in helping Larry believe that he did not molest you. Okay. Larry goes on, and then you also say that he never apologized. Okay. So Larry goes on to say, in response, I admit that after the vision, I should have reached out, but because you didn't reach out after our last communication, I figured something was up, but I waited. The dream was confirmation of the energy, and now this email, that's why I elected to just delete and move on, because I felt you weren't interested in combo. At that point, that was my presumption. This isn't your fault. It was what I elected to do. And that wasn't the best thing to do because it told you and her something about how I felt concerning both of you. That wasn't true. Oh, and if I misrepresented what Shamarko said, then put that on me and not him. As far as me and you and our relationship, we have talked and re-talked, but clearly we should have talked more. The last few months for me wouldn't you wouldn't believe the things I see so clearly now, and that many, many mistakes. I've apologized till I'm blue in the face, publicly and individually. When the universe afforded the opportunity to talk to people personally and vice versa, hopefully one day you will want to talk. What does Larry want to talk to you about?
I mean, well, you tell me what you want to talk to me about. What's your take from that?
I
You
mean,
reading the messages. What does he want to talk about?
I mean, it seems like he wants to talk about your relationship. And you guys have talked and re-talked and talked and talked and talked. I mean, yeah, I mean, to me, it seems like you guys are talking and talking and re-talking about the molestation.
So this whole okay. So if someone says to you that you've done these things to them, if it's not true at all, right? If it's not true, there's no truth to it at all. Why in the hell am I saying that I've in response to you saying the things that you're saying I've done to you? I'm now acknowledging that I've made so many mistakes. I'm now acknowledging that I've apologized until I was blue in the face, and I'm asking, I'm saying things like, hopefully one day you'll want to talk. And that's like that's not somebody that you believe is lying. Like, you know what I'm saying? You yourself is you responded to. And so
Absolutely. I mean, if somebody said that I'm gonna listen to them, I would absolutely there would be no response. I'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And here
right,
he is saying that I apologize. Like
exactly.
I've been apologizing. We've talked about this. I apologize to you. We talked about this. Has he apologized to you? You're saying that he didn't apologize to you. He's saying I've apologized till I'm blue in the face to
I'm gonna
you and
tell you
everybody else.
I'm gonna tell you what that is, man.
Meaning that there's also this means that there's more than one victim. There's more than one person. He said, I apologize to you and everybody else.
Facts. And that, like, him wanting to, and to be completely honest, I actually, when he sent me this message, for a second I considered, I said, well, maybe I should go link up with him and we have an actual discussion. I considered it for a second, and I talked to my wife about it.
Because you forgave him.
It was I was that was the whole reason of me reaching out to him. I'm like, I said I've come into terms of what this was, and I'm gonna choose to forgive you for me, right? And so after this conversation on in the messages, I talked to my wife. I said, maybe I should link up with him so I can look at him in the face. You dig? And my wife, in her infinite wisdom, she said, you don't owe him that. He doesn't deserve an opportunity to look at you in the face, because what's gonna happen is he's gonna try to do the same shit he's been doing all these years. He's gonna try to emotionally manipulate you. That's what that was the whole reason of why he sent me his number. He wanted to control the situation. And honestly, I feel like that's why he kept me close to him even after the fact. Even when I got older, he kept me around so he could control the way I viewed the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? And so that was what that was. That was why he wanted to talk. He wanted to try to mentally manipulate me. He even attempts to do it now. Like he'll say certain things. He'll call me. He used to call me Vontre. Right, that was his nickname for me. And like that, back home where I'm from, my family, like some of my family call me the same thing. And he'll say that, and he'll say stuff like, "I still love him" and all that. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like what he's trying to do is he's trying to like plant seeds of like, well, if he still is the same person that he was back then, if I say certain things, it'll pull on his heart in a way that makes him reconsider what he's saying. Nah, you dealing with a different
Yeah,
nigga,
and a
but
lot of the
that ain't what that
interviews,
is, man. That ain't what that is. I'm not that guy.
I know
I'm
that's
not that
right.
guy, bro.
I know that's right. And a lot of the interviews, I catch him talking directly to you.
Yeah,
I guess he has no access to you now.
nah, at all.
After that last message where he apologized to you, he sent you a few more messages, and it seems as though you weren't responding to him. He says, had a few typos, misspelled a few words because I responded quickly. When you get time, let's meet up to talk. I stay near Lenox Mall. He sent his number. He said, this is my private cell on July 26th. Mind you, this is sometime after. He says, hey, Vontre, thought of you. Know you were enjoying doing all of what you're doing. It's certainly part of the dream you've dreamed. Big ups. Mind you, this is after Levantre has told him, you molested me.
Facts.
You molested me. Hey, Vontre.